Sorry to keep you in suspense, but so the teaching was that in order for the Yidden to be a fit vessel for the receiving of the Torah, they had to be humbled. Kind of like nothing's more whole than a broken heart. So there was a purpose in that fall. As the teaching goes, a Yerida Letzorach Aliyah, right? So it was part of the game plan, as it were. So when we do have our falls and we do feel lowly of self because we fell below the standard of what we expect of ourselves, could be for many reasons that God set us up for that fall. And as I was learning in the Rabbi Rashab's Kuntras Avoda, it says that there's like a love like fire and a love like water. And when someone is near fire, they get hot, and then they get thirsty, and then they want water. So when we feel a bit distant from our standard, which makes us feel a bit distant from God and what we think He expects of us, quote unquote, which is not based on reality many times, that thirst gets ignited, and then we want water, as it were. The water represents the water of Hashem's love. Just like water actually binds like dough to make it into a bread, hopefully very healthy dough. So the water binds it. So the Rebbe Rashab says that the Gevura within us that feels kind of lowly or distant from Hashem helps us want to be closer. And so the falls are kind of necessary for the thirsting and longing to, improve and be a better version of ourselves because of the fall. So I want to do a little a little meditation based on this idea. Is like, sometimes you have a child and they're so unlovable. They're just like, oh my gosh, having that tantrum, and you're like, ugh. And that's when it's most important to show your love to them, when they're most unlovable. And when I was thinking about that, I was thinking about ourselves. Like when we do fall prey to that, defying our own standard of who we feel like we should have been or could have been, or still maybe some dealing with what they're not yet, quote unquote. That we have to be most lovable to ourselves when we do fall, knowing that it's God's plan. For whatever reason that we end up having to be maybe redoing tshuva, maybe, driving us to that next level because we're ready for it. Because without that block, we wouldn't maybe push ourselves, or without that fall, we wouldn't push ourselves to that next level. The Rebbe did teach us in this generation we don't need the falls to have the, reaching new heights levels. But if it happens to happen, this is what we have to think about. So this is dedicated to all of humanity that sometimes have a hard time loving themselves, forgiving themselves, and accepting the standard that we're at, but yet hopefully drive ourselves to that new level of self-love as is. That's a new level. That's a really great new level. And that's what this meditation is going to be about. So let's close our eyes. Let's take a deep breath. And with every breath you take, just sense that the breath of your Neshama is activated and ignited and excited that you're finally more see the truth of how cherished and loved you are by Hashem. We learn that Hashem does not see the iniquities of Israel. More about that. But remember, He forgives you every single day, a few times a day. We can't say His name in vain. And in the prayers we say His name, that He forgives us. Can you forgive yourself like God? So this breath and these thoughts surround you, almost like the Nanei HaKavod, the cloud of glory that surrounded the people when they were leaving slavery and entering freedom. This is God's embrace, God's love, God's protection. This is God's unconditional love, even when we're not so lovable. That's when He gives us our most heartfelt embrace. And this cloud, actually see it as a symbolism of that virtual hug, that virtual embrace and acceptance, infusing within you that power to do that for yourself. God is in the lead and you're following His lead, giving you and empowering you to be able to do that. You feel comforted, you feel safe, you feel grace, you feel love. Wow. You can now see yourself in a beautiful place that God chose for you, that you can go at will whenever you need to and feel that love. The place is so accepting, so inviting, so peaceful, helping you recalibrate, rejuvenate. And you see a body of water, and in this body of water, every step closer to it, you realize soon you'll see the true reflection of the true godly self that you are. Every step closer. The body of water represents the waters of Torah, which represents the waters of love that Hashem has for you. As you look into that body of water, you see the reflection of God in you. Your true essence flowing. Your true essence more and more revealed in this image. Think about all of your positive qualities. Think about how now to cherish them more and bring them out. In the merit of all those that are trapped and can't right now share that with their loved ones. See yourself in their merit, making more of an effort to tap into who you truly are. Feeling the self-love, feeling the self-acceptance, and ready, really ready for your own Neshama to shine more and more. with this self-love and self-acceptance. You're breaking through the barriers. There's no stopping you. Have a blessed